In today's episode, I will cover the coping mechanism when dealing with issues and challenges you face daily, either it being anger problems, addiction, or preventing relapse, PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, and so much more. But first, why are coping patterns so important to all of us? That is because they facilitate a person's handling of a stressful situation. What directly follows are coping strategies that are used to alleviate the dangers of some of the triggers that can aggravate our daily lives. Now, what are the type of positive coping strategies? 1. Humor. Pointing out the amusing aspect of the problem at hand, or positive reframing, is thought to help deal with small failures. Also, self-deprecating humor allows you to poke fun at yourself and make the whole situation less impactful. 2. Seek support. By doing this, it can be an effective way of maintaining emotional health during a stressful period. 3. Problem solving is an instrumental coping mechanism that aims to locate the source of the problem and determine solutions. This coping mechanism is often helpful in work situations. 4. Relaxation, or practicing calming techniques, can help to manage stress and improve overall coping. 5th, physical recreation, such as running or team sport, is a good way to handle the stress of a given situation. This may involve yoga, meditating, progressive muscle relaxation, among other techniques of relaxation. 6. Adjusting expectation may assist you in preparing for the stress associated with any given change or event and not expect too much from anything. When you get more positive from what you initially expected, all the power comes to you. Now, what are the negative coping strategies that many adopt? 1 is denial. It's usually maintained by distraction, such as excessive alcohol consumption, overworking, or sleeping more than usual. 2, self-blame, which is probably internalizing the issue and blaming oneself beyond just taking responsibility for one's action lead to low self-esteem and sometimes depression. 3, venting. This is an externalizing coping technique. Venting is the outward expression of emotion, usually in the company of friends or family. In moderation, it can be healthy. However, ruminating on the negative can lead to strained relationship over time. Who wants to be with a toxic person, right? Now, how do you identify triggers? Now, most triggers varies from person to person, but there's some universal out there to pay attention and work towards eliminating them. When suffering from any addiction, stay away from those who are not in their path of betterment. If they're still addicted and you're looking for a change, cut friendship ties with them and they will do anything to bring you back to your old self. Extreme emotional states, such as depression, stress, frustration, and anxiety, provoke a reflexive desire to use substances in order to relieve the discomfort of these emotional conditions. Living conditions. Now, returning to the same dysfunctional or isolated living situation will reactivate the addiction memory, the behaviors that led to substance abuse in the living environment and or the people in it. Deep-seated childhood trauma. Dysfunctional families dynamic, childhood abuse, or trauma can set into motion with a coping mechanism that later develop into substance abuse. You must always engage in a preventative plan to avoid falling back into your old habits. Determine all of the bad habits and categorize them and address each of them individually until you have created a new healthy pattern. If you try to fix all of it in one day, you will fail miserably. Avoid that at all costs. Get assistance from others who cares about you and who wants you to get better. Never allow yourself to go back into the comfort zone which created the problems you're dealing with right now. Always abide by the HALT rule, H-A-L-T. Most relapse occurs when you are hungry, H, angry, A, lonely, L, and tired, T. So always stay well-fed, control your emotion, be around people who care for you and love you, and get lots of rest. The rest gets easier as time goes by. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Hope this episode gave you a little more insight on understanding how the mind works, the reasons why some struggles with challenges while others manage these same challenges with ease and simplicity. Psychiatrists and psychologists have studied the mind for centuries, but still are working on why the mind processes information a certain way. Why do some humans are more prone to mental illnesses versus others? Or how some are more vulnerable to addiction where others can easily stop a bad habit from lingering in their life for too long. Humans are unique species who have the ability to heal themselves with proper tools and training. Now, we all deal with the many uncertainties of life, but some allow these uncertainties to drain them from their energy and keep them sick mentally and physically, which benefits the many pharmaceutical companies around the world. They want to keep you sick. Now, we all know that life is not easy, but it's really up to you to decide how you want to manage it. Now, you can't really control everything happening in your life, so for the things that are out of your control, it is important to determine how much of a lesson you want to learn from your experiences. Now, for all that to happen, you must learn how to identify triggers that puts you in a depressing state of mind and how to cope with these symptoms when they are polluting your consciousness. Now, we all can deal with some stress in our lives, but too much of it is unhealthy. Anxiety can lead to severe depression and suicide, so when left untreated, it may bring in a total wave of other problems that can become overwhelming and difficult to handle. Try avoiding falling in that trap and get the help from a professional who can assist you throughout this whole ordeal. Now, ignoring your issues won't solve the problem, just like trying to ignore the IRS letters for a probable audit. Now, every problem in life already has a solution glued to it. You just need to figure out how to find it. Now, hope this episode was helpful, and stay tuned for our future episode coming up soon. Now, if you happen to have any further questions or require assistance or therapy, do not hesitate to contact me at the number below so we can address your problem together and find a solution that is already there. Until then, my friend, stay healthy, stay wise, and stay happy. My name is Dr. Dan Amzalag, and I'm your virtual coach.